I'm just thrilled for our guys. Obviously, it's been a long stretch. They, I begged and pleaded for them not to quit. I know we've made improvement. It hasn't showed in wins and losses, but we've become a competitive team where probably at times earlier we weren't. Some of that we've had some continuity, the same guys in there. It definitely has helped us. But I think today, my whole thing was one, the preparation, the scout, Coach Southwell. They were locked into it, and that was my first thing. I called Shane late after the Kansas game, and I said, "What do we need to do?" And he said, "We need to score, Coach." And I said, "Be honest, Shane, we need to stop them, because if they score, we haven't scored all year. We're not going to have a chance to win." So we did shoot a lot. The next day, we did work on offense, but we also I kind of made sure I talked to them about really being prepared, and we did a lot of good things. The first time we played them, we did a lot of good things. We just didn't make enough plays or shots, especially when we got it close. So that was, and then just being consistent, I thought. And then the last thing was just focus on being self-disciplined and being selfless. And I thought our guys really bought into trying to win the game. And you got to give, I know you just had Selton on. He just made a decision. And I've kind of, begged them to, you can guard Selton. You're big time. And, he took the challenge. Coach Southwell challenged him. He did a great job on Nemhart. He still got 14, but he made him earn it. There's no doubt about that. And then I thought, so that focus on that, and then guess what happens? He gets a layup, he gets a three, big plays. Mike McGrath was, he's got a couple threes down early, great line, 16-9, I think is his career high, 5 assists. And he guarded Miles and did a really good job on Miles too. He's 3 for 13 and Nemhart's 3 for 11. So just those two guys stepped up defensively, but it was a team win because we had to have everybody make plays. We actually got some fast breaks in the second half, and we haven't had a lot of those. Those were important, and then we didn't get to the line much, none in the first half, but then when down the stretch, we definitely made the free throws, which were, we got the stops and free throws. I don't think they scored a field goal in the last 5 or 6 minutes. So we did a lot of good things, but the players win games. They found a way to win it. Happy for them, proud of them. But now we got to worry about Oklahoma and see if we can come and have that same consistent effort and focus.
Thank you, Coach. We'll get our first question. We'll go to Kellis Robinette.
Hey, Bruce, congrats on the win. I know you've been a part of lots of wins over your career, but can you put into words just how fulfilling it is to be a part of a group that's been through the struggles they have to finally persevere here?
Yeah, again, I just said I'm happy for them and Mike, and I told you guys there were tears in the locker room after Kansas. They wanted it so bad. Probably, you worry, you wonder about the shooting. Is it you're so tight, and then that's why you don't make shots. And the last thing I did right on the board, and I just said enjoy the opportunity, and I put smiley faces on the board, and and I told Mike today, relax, enjoy, and just don't force the issue. And I think for the most part, he did a good job of that. So it's, again, I'm happy for them because they're the ones that have. It's not easy. It's not easy on us, but it definitely has not been easy on them.
Where do you think the guys got the calm or the collectiveness, whatever word you want to use for it, there in the last 5 minutes to put the game away?
The one huddle, we were struggling. I think they got that 4-point lead when Nimard hit that three, and we had some not good possessions. We didn't execute. They were, we were both fighting our butts off, and in that one huddle, I just said, guys, we've been here before. This is the time we usually go the wrong way. Let's see if we can make the plays this time. And then they were very, very focused. A lot, it was a little different game, Iowa State, but I thought that same focus we had, obviously that was way back in December, but same focus we had in that game we had today. And that was, they've made strides with that consistent focus. There's no doubt about it. Playing hard, doing the things that they need to do. It's too bad they took us. I told you guys, I told them, I don't want the season to end because they've finally started making progress. I told them that a week ago, and but I also want them to finish strong so they feel good about it.
All right. Thanks, Bruce. Travel safe.
Yep. Thank you.
Next question to John Kurtz.
Yeah, Bruce, I know you touched a little bit there on Selton's defense. Mike was in here and compared it to basically as good a performance as he's seen in his time here, whether that's been Barry or X or any of those guys. Did you feel like it was on that level?
I mean, it was pretty good because Nimhart's good and he frustrated him. He stayed in front of him. He was physical. Coach, I said Coach Southwell challenged him. We talked about getting into him and not going under ball screens. And then our big guys did a good job of being at the line of the ball screen. So he didn't see space. He didn't see openings. And then we made him, force kind of the issue, especially as the game got late. And then when, he also switched and did some switching things that we had prepared for. So they were locked in a lot of ways. And then, as I said before, I keep telling them, if your mind's in the right spot and your heart's in the right spot, good things happen for you. And guess what? Boom, he makes a three. And I don't know when the last time he made a three was. I think Texas, maybe the first play of the game. But good things happen when your heart and mind are in the right spots.
You try to let a team in this scenario, because it had been so long since they had won, indulge more in this win than you might with a normal team?
I mean, we play Tuesday, so I know Oklahoma State's we're in a tough game. They had a big lead. Somebody said it was 45-41. I don't know where it is now. So I mean, we'll get back tonight. Then we got to come back tomorrow and get ready. Obviously, it's a lot of guys play a lot of minutes. It's been a long season. I've tried to shorten a lot of stuff. Today was our shortest shoot around we've ever had. Tomorrow it's just, again, it's a mental preparation, getting ready for them. If you remember back, we were winning 22-17 at Oklahoma. And then that next stretch, it just went the wrong way. And now we got to see if we can make the same improvement we made in some of these other games and push them to the limit again also.
Appreciate it, Bruce. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next question to Tim Fitzgerald.
Hey, Coach. This has obviously been a struggle, and Mike's really been not playing as well as he can. How good was it to see that Mike, the team not only got the win, but Mike was such a big part of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's great for him. He was one of the last ones, him and Dage won in the locker room after Kansas. And we've been really careful about social distancing and all that stuff, but I just went and hugged him after that game because I know how it hurt him. And I know how hard he's worked and how he's tried to be a leader and how he's had to endure this year. So I'm thrilled for him. Now just keep going. We're honoring him senior night on Tuesday. We made the decision. We hope he comes back, but I know football did the same thing. They honored every senior just in case they don't, so they get their recognition, them and the managers. But hopefully he will, use this as a nice confidence builder, help him relax a little bit, and have a great finish to the season.
You've had some games here down the stretch where you were in them, but you just couldn't quite get that next play or that stretch. And after the game was tied with the double technicals, that seemed to be the changing moment. They had an opportunity, TCU did, to really kind of take control, and you guys fended it off. And
that's where we had. I think Wyatt and Stan told me that they did not score a field goal in the last 5-6 minutes, and that's probably right. I don't know when that technical was, what the time was, but it was after that, as you said, we really locked in defensively. And now obviously the only points they scored down the stretch were on the free throw line.
Good win, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question to Michael Goins.
Yeah, Bruce, that was a 7:28 mark on the technical. What was the explanation you got for Mike McGrath receiving a technical?
It's called, he got into the mess and he got a contact technical. I don't know if he went in there other than maybe to clean it up, but he got into the, I didn't see it obviously, but I was just worried about our other guys, and we were lucky that it was a timeout because our guys were trying to make sure nothing happened, but you can't go on the court, and that's probably the one bad rule. You got to make sure you're trying to protect your guys and make sure they don't do anything stupid, but then they're telling you to not go on the court. So, but that's what we were told. And our coaches told me what they saw. They saw him go in the mix and bump somebody.
So about 2.5 minutes after that, they take a 5-point lead, excuse me. And you guys bounce back from that. Just talk about that resiliency and that ability to show some poise.
Yeah, I told them, we've been here before, and when it was a 3-point game the first time we played them. It was a 4-point game. Kansas was 30-26. We get to those points in games, and again, to our guys' credit, they manned up, stayed focused, and we had some guys step up and make good passes and good plays.
And I believe they shot 28% in the entire second half.
Yeah.
Just the group-wide effort that took, and especially obviously Selton Miguel.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It was good team defense. Our tags, when they ball screen and getting into the big guy, our second hedgers, we call them, not getting dribbled under, trying to keep them out of the paint. We had 30 points in the paint. They only had 16. And, several of those were Samuels on the little post-ups. We decided we were post-trapping them, and then they were I don't say picking us apart, but they definitely got a couple threes out of that. And so we decided midway through the second half not to post-trap them and then make them make plays. And I guess it was a good switch up because obviously we kept them under wraps pretty well down the stretch.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yep.
Colin Settle.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. You kind of talked about Mike and Selton a little bit. I just wanted to get your thoughts on how you thought Nigel played tonight in the win.
Well, he had a big shot. Hit the play before he hit that three, or that I don't know if it was a 3 or 2, but the little pull-up. He had forced the issue a little bit. I think it turned out okay with us. I can't remember, but I just grabbed him and I said, next time you come off that, if he's sitting back, you got to jump up and shoot it and play with confidence. And he jumped up and made a big shot. He has 5 assists, 1 turnover. Teams are locking into him, and we put different quick hitters in, but teams are smart. They're just staying with them, connected. I thought he did a nice job of tight curling a few times. Some of our other guys did also, and we got some drop-offs to Davion and Casey, which were, big baskets for us. And we didn't do that against in Kansas and a couple other games where, we needed to get into the paint, and that obviously that puts a little more pressure on them.
Congratulations again, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next question to Kellis Robinette.
And we also got to ask you a strategy question, but there in the first half when you had both Casey and Davion in foul trouble, I know you said previously you didn't really feel comfortable playing Carlton, but you put him in there for some key minutes. What was kind of the philosophy there?
Well, I just, we had no choice. I mean, and again, nothing against Carlton, and it was great. He went in there, he battled. He didn't get the practice, and we put him in a major, when we started playing him in December, this is a young man that hadn't really practiced at all. And he, he's just trying to catch up with everything. But, again, he goes in there and plays, his 3 minutes. It was important to us. It would have been nice if he gets that little shot down, but he battled. And, when you watch his like understanding of his ball screen defense, he's gotten way better. And, I really believe he's going to be a great player down the road. He's got great skills, great hands. He just didn't get the proper, preparation and practice. And even that his back has still bothered him the last couple of weeks. And even at halftime, he had to go and stretch extra to kind of get loose again.
All right. Thanks, Bruce.
Last question to Ryan Black.
Hey, Bruce, I'm sure you're as aware of this as anybody, is that, TCU entered this game as the worst free throw shooting team in the conference.
Yeah.
You see them.
Then they go 20-23.
I was going to ask this, like, were you just kind of like, you got to be kidding me, right? That's kind of what you were thinking as they kept making shot after shot.
Yes. We seem to get, I saw Tyreek Smith from Texas Tech. He jumps up and makes a three. I see him on TV today while we're getting dressed. He shoots a three at Kansas. He doesn't make it. And, it just seems like, not everything is always going our way. But, even with them making those free throws, we had to fight our way to get a win. And that's the best thing for our guys. And, the one thing I wanted to just kind of, Kellis had asked, the big thing I talked about with Carleton and Surrey, that it's tough for them to guard the 4-man because most people don't, play so small. And, in this case, TCU plays small ball, spreads you out. Kansas is playing 4 guards. It makes it really tough for those guys, to be out on the court. And that's where I said I didn't feel comfortable with them out on the court defending at that 4 spot. But as a 5, they both of those guys they've made some improvement, and you feel comfortable that they can at least know the defensive concepts from that spot.
And then, Bruce, I know we've talked so much about Nigel this year, but what can you say, in a night he's struggling with his shot, he comes through there with the 3-pointer to tie it, and then he has another key jumper to push it to 5 there with 1:22 to go.
Yeah, I mean, I just kept telling him, have confidence, believe in yourself. You're a really good player. We've talked about Carleton on our radio show. He said he watched the games last year and he thought, man, I could do this. But then you get here and you get in this league, it's really, really hard. And the same thing with Nigel. This is a tough league. You're playing against some of the best guards ever, from Texas to Baylor to Nemhart, Miles. You got unbelievable players. McBride next week, Reeves. This is a major conference with really, really good players and really, really good coaches. And it's not been easy, but he's stood the test, and he's just got to feel good about himself and keep playing with confidence.
Hey, and Bruce, this isn't even a question, but I'll mention that the highest percentage TCU had shot the free throw line before tonight was in the other game against you guys. So I guess they'd be the best team in the country at free throws.
We're not good at that free throw line defense, I guess.